Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the revision of chapter 2, Goodwill, Nature and Valuation. We have already done this chapter before vacation, and we have also done number of sums. So today I am just giving you a revision of the same chapter so that it becomes easy for you to recall. We have also done number of sums during the Zoom meeting. Now let us start the chapter. Let us understand the meaning of goodwill. Now many times the student just give the answer like goodwill is an intangible asset. Okay, but that much is not sufficient. You need to write down it is the benefit and advantage of good name, reputation of the firm. Okay, and secondly it is the value, quantifiable, reputation of the business and calculated as a part of it value when the business is sold. Okay, now why do the need for calculating goodwill arise? Why do we calculate goodwill? What is the need for valuation of goodwill? So whenever there is change in profit sharing ratio, whenever there is a change in profit sharing ratio, you can take an example like A, B and C are the partners and the ratio which they were sharing was 2:2:1. Now need for the valuation of goodwill. Why do the firms value the goodwill? So the very first point is change in the profit sharing ratio. So you can just take an example like A, B and C are the partners. The profit sharing ratio was 3:2:1. Now A, B and C have decided to change their profit sharing ratio from 3:2:1 to 1:1:1. That is equally. So now there is change in the profit sharing ratio. So because of the change in the profit sharing ratio, we need to value the goodwill. The second is because of admission of a partner. Now you can take one more example like the three partners A, B and C. Okay, now they were these are the three partners in the business. Now they have decided to admit C because they have decided to admit D. As you know, without the consent of all the existing partner, a new partner cannot be admitted. So here they have decided to admit D into the partnership firm. Okay, so because of the admission of new partner, there is going to be a change regarding entire balance sheet and everything. So even for that we need to calculate or find out the valuation of goodwill. Then you have because of retirement or because of death or some partner dies in between, then also we need to value goodwill. Even when one or two firms amalgamate, when there is an amalgamation, okay, as you can see, company or the Draksh company and Somya company decided to amalgamate. So these are the various examples regarding the need for valuation of goodwill. Now one more thing, for goodwill we follow accounting standard 26 because this is for all intangible asset and goodwill is an intangible asset. Okay, regarding does not have any physical existence. Physical existence of assets like land, building, furniture, all these fixed assets, they are all tangible, and goodwill, then trademark, patent, copyright, these are the examples of intangible assets. Okay, now moving on to the types of goodwill. See, I am teaching you types of goodwill, and the next will be the methods for the calculation of goodwill. First we will see the types of goodwill. So here are the types of goodwill. Self-generated goodwill. And the next is purchase goodwill. Okay, so hopefully you all have understood this part, need for the valuation. Now moving on to types of goodwill. Okay, and for this we follow accounting standard 26. So when we say self-generated goodwill, okay, self-generated goodwill, it is not recognized in the books of account. That means it is not shown in the balance sheet. Keep in mind, it is not shown in the balance sheet. And when we say purchase goodwill, okay, as a firm purchase from another firm, isn't it? And I told you the various reasons for finding out the goodwill. So for purchase goodwill, we need for purchase of goodwill, as you can say, it is recognized in the books of account and it is shown in the balance sheet. So you have to keep these points in your mind regarding the types of goodwill. Okay. Now what is important here regarding solving the practical sums. So before solving the practical sums, we should know all the formulas. The formulas are very important. If you will sit with the textbook, any reference book, and you don't know any formulas, so you won't be able to do any sums. So the very first step is you should know all the formulas on the tip of your tongue. Okay, and you need to practice it because accounting is like everyday practicing for 2 to 3 hours, isn't it? So I'll give you a simple example. As you are interested in driving car, isn't it, or driving any vehicle. So just by thinking, you are not going to learn driving of vehicle. For particularly to drive it, you have to practically drive and learn that practice every day. So when you will practice regarding how to drive, definitely you will become a good driver, isn't it? Similarly, if we talk about accountancy, we need to practice. Practice is very important. If you are not practicing, you won't be able to calculate sums. Okay, and if we follow different references book, any references book, basically you are following T.S. Grewal, even NCERT textbook is there. So there are number of sums, 50 to 60 sums are there. So for calculating 50 to 60 sums, you need to know the formulas. Okay. Now let us move to the formulas for calculation of goodwill. So the first one is how to calculate goodwill. The first method is average profit method. The second method is super profit method. And the third method is capitalization method. Okay. So these are the 3 methods which we are going to use for the calculation of goodwill. Okay. So average profit method. In average profit method, we have simple profit method and weighted average profit method. So simple average profit, as the name suggests, simple average profit method. It is very simple. Yearly all the profits will be given to you. Like for the year 2000, you can take 2011, 2012, 2013. So profit will be given for all the years, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. So what you will do, total up all the profit and divide by number of years. Okay, so total up all the profit and divide it by number of years. So number of years is how much? 1, 2, 3. So 3 years. Okay, so this is how you are going to calculate. Simple. It's very simple. If you will start doing the practice, you will come to know. So total profit upon number of years. I just write down the formula for you. It's very simple. Okay, let us do one sum only so that it becomes easy for you. Now if it is given year and profit, what you will do? Now year, let us take 2015, 2016 and 2017. Okay, 50, 60 and 40. So it's very simple. Total profit is 1,50,000. Now formula is what? For So AP, that is average profit, is equals to total profit upon number of years. Okay, students, we have already done so many sums during the online classes. Okay, so this is how it's just a revision. So simple profit, this is how you are going to calculate. Now calculating total weighted profit. So suppose if I have taken this example, that is these are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First year profit 40,000, second year profit 48,000, third year profit is 60,000, fourth year profit 50,000, and the fifth year profit is 36,000. Suppose this is your sum, so you need to allot the weights 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the recent year profit is given more weights. This you have to keep in mind, that the recent profit is here, the fifth year profit. So fifth year profit will be given more weights. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. So total weight is 15, and you have to multiply profit by weight. Profit by weight. 40 into 1, 40,000. 48,000 into 2 is 96,000, so on, and then you have to sum up the total. Now the total is 6,96,000. So what you are going to do now? 6,96,000, that is total weighted profit upon total weight. Okay, so total weighted profit upon total weight. So 6,96,000 divided by 15 will give you 46,400. 46,400. Okay, all these sums or number of sums we had done during online classes regarding simple and weighted. For super profit method, we need to go with these 5 steps. Whenever any sums are there in your books, okay, you can calculate any sums of super profit method by applying these 5 steps. The first step is finding out capital employed. Okay, the next is finding out average profit. Average profit, as we already did the same way, calculating average profit, and in many of the questions they give you directly. Okay, so you don't need to calculate also. Then comes normal profit. Okay, now for calculating normal profit, you should know the formula of calculating normal profit. Now formula for calculating normal profit is capital employed into NRR upon 100. So this is the formula for calculating normal profit. And the next is finding out super profit. So in order to find out super profit, we are going to find the difference, that is average profit minus normal profit. So goodwill, the last step, goodwill is equals to super profit into number of years of purchase. Okay, this is how you are going to calculate goodwill by super profit method. So you have to keep these 5 steps in your mind. Now in most of the sums they give you capital employed directly. So when the capital employed is given directly, you will apply the formula normal profit is equals to capital employed into NRR upon 100. Okay, this is your formula for finding out capital employed. Now if capital employed is not given in the sum, but they give you some hint for finding out the capital employed. There are some hints to find out. So you can find out capital employed by 2 approaches, that is asset approach and liability approach. So when we go to the asset approach, the simple formula is total assets. Okay, total assets minus outside liabilities. So when you calculate total asset, you have to ignore these one, except goodwill, fictitious asset and non-trade investment. I have written here NTI. So full form is non-trade investment. Okay, so for calculation of super profit method, always keep the 5 steps in your mind. Okay, and in these 5 steps, as I told you, most of the questions are like for 1 mark. So they give you the capital employed directly, but in case In the question, capital employed is not given. So you need to find out capital employed by two approach, either asset or either liability approach. Going with the asset approach is like total assets minus outside liability, and what you have to ignore, that is except goodwill, fictitious asset and non-trade investment. Now moving on to the next one, that is liability approach. So in liability approach, capital plus reserves minus fictitious asset minus non-trade investment. This is what you have to keep in mind for liability approach. So the two methods are done, average profit method, super profit method. And student, if you will follow this 5-step and calculate the sum of super profit, you will able to do it easily. So that's all for today, and we will continue with the revision of admissions and whatever formulas which I have given you, the 5 different cases for 5 different cases for calculation of short sums, which we will revise in the next video, and we will continue with the admissions long sums through Zoom app also, and wherever required I will send you the videos also. Thank you.